everybody and welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. First of all, you might be wondering, Michelle, why are your eyebrows so dark? Well, I had a facial this morning. I had like a face mask and treatment and everything. And I also had my eyebrows done and tinted, so now they look very sharp and nice again. I always like it when they're just, you know, done. They look so much better, so very happy with that. But it probably looks a bit weird, or not weird, but maybe a bit out there in comparison to, you know, not any other makeup on my face. But anyway, don't think anybody is going to find my eyebrows that important. More importantly, of course, this is a new weekly reading vlog, but this entire weekly reading vlog, I am participating in the Backlist Readathon. This is a week-long readathon that is all about reading backlist titles, so that means books that are older, books that have been on your TBR for a longer time, books that you like buy and that have been there on your shelves forever but you still haven't read yet. I talk about all the books that I want to read for this readathon in my March TBR video, so I would recommend watching that one if you want to know my entire TBR. But I have started my first book. It is actually already Tuesday, so I haven't vlogged anything yesterday on the first day. So oops, sorry, I didn't really film the start of my readathon, but I have started reading the first book, and that is actually the Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. This one has been on my TBR forever, like so long, and so many people have been recommending it to me. Especially like one person who is watching my videos, Marta, she has been begging me to read it forever, so I guess she's really happy that I finally picked it up. So yeah, I am reading it right now. It is finally happening. The Book of Lost Things is about a boy named David who at 12 years old loses his mother, and shortly after that he starts hearing voices coming from his books, and before he knows it, he is in this new magical world. And yeah, there is a lot more going on, but it's very much inspired by fairy tales and sort of different versions of fairy tales. Stories are very important in this book, so I have been listening to the audiobook and reading the physical book sort of at the same time, so like I'm switching in between those two formats. I am now at page 107, so because I am combining audiobook with physical book, I'm reading it so much faster, and that's really sort of my goal, because then I can finish the first book of this readathon hopefully as quickly as possible. So far I am enjoying it. I'm not massively in love with it yet. It is quite enjoyable and definitely very, you know, magical and fairy tale like, so that is something that I do like about a book. And yeah, it is also not too long, so I'm about, you know, 25% in now with 100 pages. I think it shouldn't be too long until I finish this. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what is going to happen next with it and where this story is going to go. But long story short, I am finally reading the Book of Lost Things. Yeah, that's what's so nice about this backlist readathon. You finally read the books that you have been meaning to read forever. So yeah, that is going to be the theme of this reading vlog. I'm going to try to read as many books on my readathon TBR as possible. So yeah, only reading one book right now because I'm listening to the audiobook and reading the physical book. Yeah, so for once I don't have multiple books to talk about, so I can be very short with that. And yeah, I just need to read more of the Book of Lost Things to give more of my opinion and more of a review. I've also been working on my book review for Chain of Gold, which is so long, so that is also, yeah, sort of interesting. That one will be online now when you are watching this reading vlog, so link below. Again, down in the description box if you want to watch my you know, book review for Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I have been reading a lot lately, and I feel so inspired to make more videos lately. I have so much inspiration, and I really love filming and making videos, and I'm sort of sad that, of course, you know, I also have to work on school and do other things, so I cannot spend all my time reading and making videos. But I am enjoying myself so much with this lately, and I'm really happy about this amazing reading flow and YouTube flow. So yeah, I hope that will continue, but now I really need to get back to some reading. And yeah, as always, I will keep you updated. I really hope that this is going to be a successful readathon. Hey, it is now Wednesday, and considering that I have been at university the entire day, I have done pretty well with squeezing in some reading whenever I can. So also I've decided to change tactics when it comes to reading, because I was only reading the Book of Lost Things both audibly and physically, but I've now decided to finish this book with the audiobook, so only reading it audibly, because I felt like just one book wasn't really doing it for me. Not necessarily like, I don't know, maybe it's just this book because it's so is so much told in the in the format of fairy tales. It is sort of made up of multiple fairy tales and parts of a book. It's very episodic. Because of that, I feel like this is not the best book to be the only book that I'm currently reading. And yeah, what else can I say? I just felt like reading more than one book. But before I go to the other book that I've decided to pick up, I have read more of the Book of Lost Things. Mostly by listening to the audiobook, as I said before. I am now at page, let me see, 211. So that is actually really nice. I'm getting along with this quite nicely. It is going great. I am still very much enjoying it. Again, not a new all-time favorite, I think, but perfectly fine. I do really like the concept of it being inspired by fairy tales and yeah, sort of alternate versions of fairy tales. That being said, this book isn't really middle grade because there are some more intense scenes, not necessarily like really brutal, but not really child-proof either, so I wouldn't call it middle grade. But it's definitely, it has sort of magical elements. It has definitely, you know, moral of a story within every part. So yeah, it is very interesting. It is more about, you know, the hidden meanings within the fairy tales and within the these stories. Yeah, I do think it's very cleverly written, and I do really enjoy the audiobook because that one is also being narrated very well in the form of like someone who is telling you a fairy tale somehow. I don't know, I just really like the audiobook. So I will finish this one hopefully tomorrow or Friday or something with the audiobook, and I'm just going to keep listening to it because yeah, I think that's my favorite way to consume this story right now. So for this one with the backlist readathon, I forgot to mention, but I'm reading this one for the prompt of read a book that is intimidating to you, and this one was intimidating because it has been on my TBR for so long and so many people have been recommending it to me, so that is why it was sort of intimidating because yeah, the pressure to finally pick it up was quite high. But yeah, I'm really happy that I'm working my way through it and that I'm liking it, and I think it will be no trouble to finish this one within the week of the readathon. So still reading this one, but then I also picked up another backlist book for the backlist readathon, and that is A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. This is a contemporary novel. I'm reading this one for the shortest backlist book on your TBR. It is not really that short. I mean, it's not big, but also yeah, it sort of looks small, but it has more pages than you'd think, if that makes sense. Anyway, this book is about a boy named Adam who is sort of like who gets a, I don't know if it's a job or sort of like a side project with the school counselor, and whilst doing that he meets his former foster brother Julian, and Julian is acting very strangely, and yeah, I feel it's sort of, yeah, I don't know what is going to happen after that. That's only the part I've read so far, because I have read quite a bit of it last night, around 50 pages or so. Yeah, 57 pages, and that's basically only what happened so far. So I'm still sort of in the introduction phase of the book, but I've been told that this book is absolutely beautiful and heartbreaking, and that there are going to be a lot of emotions. So yeah, I'm prepared for that. But I do think that a contemporary book is probably a very good idea, you know, to sort of read a bit more quickly. Not that you have to read quickly, but I really want to, I don't know, finish as many backlist books as possible for this readathon. Not because I feel like I have to, but because I like to sort of challenge myself with those kind of readathons and challenges. And again, this one has been on my TBR for very long, and it is so nice to finally delve into the books that have been on TBRs or like my TBR for so long. So yeah, it is finally happening as well with this one. And those will be the two books that I will be reading for now. And yeah, hopefully, I think also I will finish this one this week. And if I manage to finish both these books this week, then I'm already very happy. But I think I can probably squeeze in a third one, but yeah, that's just going to, I will have to see during the week. And yeah, that's pretty much it for reading. Apart from that, it's quite a boring week as usual. Yeah, I'm just working on school stuff, usually in like the university library, because I like to work there. I'm thinking, what else do I have to do this week? Not that much, I think, to be honest. Yeah, of course, some school things and some videos to edit. I don't really have to film anything because I've already done that. So I'm just sort of like mentally checking my to-do list right now. So yeah, filming has been done for this week apart from the weekly reading vlog updates. And yeah, I think I'm now going to get into my pajamas because it has been a long day, and get some more reading done because I really feel like to, you know, just snuggle up and do some reading. And That sounds like a pretty good plan to me. Okay, it is Saturday afternoon, and since I've last done an update for this reading vlog, things have gotten a little crazy surrounding the coronavirus, but I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video, you already know that. So yeah, there have been a lot of precautions, and throughout Europe, a lot of schools have been closed down. My university is now closed down as well. Luckily for me, I can do most of my work from home. It's just that I like to work in the university library, and sometimes I need a book or two from the library, but yeah, I can do pretty much everything that I need to do from home as well. So for me, it's not that bad. But of course, everything must be a lot more difficult for a lot of you guys. And yeah, it's so weird. Things have gotten very crazy. I've never seen something like this before, and I'm pretty sure you haven't either. And yeah, all I want to say is please stay safe and take all the precautions necessary. Be careful, and also try not to panic too much, because yeah, I know that's easier said than done, but panic won't help you. And things like, take it one day at a time, take a deep breath, and try you know, to go on with life as much as possible, but at the same time be careful. So yeah, and hopefully like this video can be a bit of a distraction, so I'm not going to talk about it that much anymore, because I feel like, you know, the entire news, the entire world is talking about it, so you probably don't need it from a reading vlog of mine. But yeah, the thing is that of course now this weekend, Rachael Marie over at Rachael Marie's Book Journey has organized a very spontaneous keep calm and read-a-thon to sort of, you know, take your mind off things during this weekend and have a little spontaneous 48-hour readathon. And I thought that would be excellent to combine, you know, my backlist readathon with this keep calm and readathon. So just have a weekend with lots of reading. And that is what I'm planning to do today and tomorrow. Try to read, you know, as much as possible. Of course, there's always some school stuff that needs to be done, but apart from that, I also want to, yeah, have some fun with reading and just relax. And I think it's a very good idea to do this readathon and, you know, just take the opportunity now that we don't really, you know, we can't really go anywhere, to just read some, you know, because that is still safe. We can still read our books, so we still have that going. And on that note, I probably owe you some reading updates, because I'm almost done with both of my books. Like with both of my books, the Book of Lost Things, I only have like 20 minutes of audiobook left. I'm almost done with it. Really enjoyed it, especially with the audiobook. It's so cute, but also pretty gruesome at times. But I also like the fairy tale aspect. So yeah, that one is almost done. And then I also have only a tiny bit left of A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, which was also beautiful, like an incredible story. But again, I will give like more of final thoughts on that later when I've actually finished it. I have 40 pages left of it, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I can finish both of those books today, because I think it's only going to take like an hour to finish both of them, so that won't be a problem. And both of them I think are going to be 4-star reads, because they're both very well written and beautiful. So yeah, at least I've got 2 of those books of the backlist readathon TBR done, and now I have absolutely no idea what I want to read for the rest of the weekend, which book I'm going to read next. So I think I have to take a look at my March TBR video and like my backlist readathon TBR, because I still have a lot of books from that list and I can never read them all in the span of 2 days. But yeah, I have to make a choice, which is always difficult, especially because I'm such a mood reader. So I have to be in the exact right mood for that specific book. So I really don't know. Yeah, so that is sort of like my task for after that, to find out what I want to read next. And yeah, it's just going to be a weekend with some extra reading. You know, I want to do some extra reading. I want to do some relaxing, and yeah, you know, there's not really much else I can do apart from some schoolwork. I'm pretty much stuck at home, so yeah. What else can I do? Let's just read. Okay, it is now Sunday, and today I'm going to stay in like my comfortable clothes without any makeup on, because I really don't feel like putting on makeup today. And also I have 3 things to update you guys on. The first one is something that I'm really excited about, and that is that I've reached 7,000 subscribers on this channel. So 7,000 people have subscribed to my channel, Books Michelle, which is just insane. And yeah, it feels so weird to me, because those are so many people, and thank you so much for that. Like, that is just wow. Yeah, that really means a lot to me, and it feels so unreal. But yeah, that's just like a milestone that I'm so pleased with and so happy about. And again, thank you so much. I'm so happy that apparently enough people, like 7,000 people, liked my videos enough to subscribe, and that is just wow, like definitely something to celebrate. Very happy with that, and again, thank you so much for that. The second thing is that I have a little book haul for you guys, because yesterday I received some books in the mail. The first one is actually really exciting because it was a gift from a subscriber, Lauren B. She sent me the Wren Hunt by Mary Watson. So I'm so sorry I didn't do an unboxing on camera because I was expecting, you know, some books that I ordered myself. So I just opened it and then I was so pleasantly surprised, and it was also like in those special gift wrappings that you have on Amazon. And she sent this to me just because, like, without a certain cause or anything, and yeah, just because she says that she likes my videos, and that was just like, wow, that really made my day. That felt so special, like it was my birthday or something, or it was Christmas or something. Wow, like Lauren, thank you so much. You really made me very happy. So the note that she sent with it said, "Hi Michelle, I really hope you haven't already got this because I wanted to give you a book because you are one of my favorite YouTubers and I adore your content. Happy reading. Kisses from Lauren B on YouTube." And yeah, I did not have this book already. It was on my wish list for quite some time. I actually added it on my wish list because of Ashley from A Frolic True Fiction, because she really recommends this one. The Wren Hunt is about a girl named Wren who every year, like all the boys of her town, go on a sort of hunt where they hunt her down. It is very weird, but I believe it's inspired by Irish mythology. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not completely sure. I just really liked the premise of a girl who gets hunted down every year, and that just sounds so interesting and so original. Like, I really I'm so curious to see what I'm going to think of it. I do believe there is some myth inspired, like there's some mythology stuff connected to it, because this book was part of the Midtake Reads book club. So yeah, it's just very curious to see what I'm going to think of this. And again, thank you so much, Lauren. Like, this just out of nowhere really made my day. I was so happy to receive it, and thank you so much. You really did not have to do that, but it made me very happy. Then the next book that I got yesterday that I ordered myself is Witches of Ash and Ruin by E. Latimer. And this is also one that I bought on recommendation from Ashley. Like, she has so many interesting book recommendations and I've been really loving her channel lately. She just finished this book, and like on Twitter she was screaming how like everybody should buy it and read it. This is sort of like a witch's book, or like a witch book inspired by Celtic mythology. Yeah, it's about a 17-year-old girl named Dinah who copes with OCD, but she also wants to become a full witch, and there's then mythology again connected to it, and it just sounds so epic and so interesting and adventurous and everything. I don't have that many books about witches, but it sounds like something I would enjoy. So yeah, I just had to buy it because Ashley was loving it so much. So that's why this one also ended up in my, you know, online Amazon basket. And I also really love how bright red it is. It just looks so dark and interesting, and again, very excited about it. And then the last book that I got is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I added this one to my wish list a couple of months ago because Emma from Emma Books talked about it in, I believe it was her favorite books of 2019 video, something like that. She had read the arc because this one has just come out. My Dark Vanessa is about a woman named Vanessa who as a teenager had a sexual relationship with her teacher. She always thought about it as true love and a real relationship, but now that she's older she finds out that this specific teacher actually had inappropriate relationships with a lot of his students, and that sort of messes with her memory of things because she thought it was a real relationship. So now she has to, you know, take a look back and see if maybe her experience wasn't completely right, and if her teacher yeah, that the relationship was really inappropriate, and she has to deal with that. So that sounds so interesting and so, yeah, also emotional and definitely very difficult, and it's a heavy topic. But if Emma says that this is a really good book, then I definitely trust her, because I have a couple of good book recommendations from her, from like books that I bought on her recommendation that I read and that I really loved. She really knows about, you know, books with topics like this, topics about, you know, our time and difficult things. Like, she reads a lot of good ones, so I think this is going to be a good one as well, and a very important one and a very emotional one. So yeah, again, very excited about this one, and it's a floppy paperback, so you know, I'm sort of obliged to, if I buy a floppy paperback, I have to do this on the camera. So I've done it now. It's a floppy paperback. And then for my third thing, of course, I have to update you on reading, because yesterday I actually didn't read. Almost read nothing, like I didn't read a lot. I was very bad with it, but I did finish my audiobook of The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. And the ending was definitely, wow, not really what I expected, but definitely sweet and emotional at the same time. But yeah, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was beautiful, it was sweet, it was creative. It took a lot from fairy tales and a lot about life, and there are a lot of important themes, and I thought it was beautifully written. I really enjoyed the audiobook. So I finished this one, and yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. Very happy that I got this one done for the backlist readathon. And I also finished A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. Also like beautiful, like it was very beautifully written, so emotional. I'm not the biggest fan of contemporaries in general, but this was definitely a good one. Also quite a quick read because it is a contemporary, you just fly through it. And again, really loved it, 4 out of 5 stars. And yeah, I don't have much else to say about it apart from that, but yeah, it was a very good one. So again, a book that had been on my TBR for very long that I've now finished. So I feel like this readathon has been successful. And then for what I'm going to read next, I've started the audiobook of Uprooted by Naomi Novik. It is about time, because this is also one of the books that has been on my TBR the longest. And this is also part of the backlist readathon, like my TBR. So I've decided to listen to the audiobook, at least starting out with the audiobook, because I'm just not in the best physical book reading mood right now. I don't know, I just wasn't completely sure about what to read next. So I've just started the audiobook, and maybe I can always finish it with the physical book. I'm just going to see if I like the audiobook. I've only listened to like 10 minutes of it, so it's not much. But yeah, I'm very much determined to finish this one this month as well. So more of my backlist books done, hopefully. Fingers crossed for that. And in case you don't know, the premise of Uprooted is that it's sort of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's about a girl who gets taken to the castle of this dragon who takes a new girl every 10 years. But what happens in that castle is always a bit of a mystery, so again, sounds very interesting, and I really hope I will love it. Again, yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. And then for the next physical book I'm planning to read, I actually want to do my reread of Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. Because as I said, I'm not in the best physical reading mood right now. I was just looking at my TBR and I wasn't sure. I didn't feel like reading a complete new book, so I thought it was the perfect time to just sit back, relax, and start with a reread of an old favorite. And I also need to reread this one this month because of course I want to reread them all before the prequel comes out. So I think this is just perfect for right now because I'm not completely sure about what I want to read, so I just want to delve into a story that I already know and love. And yeah, I think I'm going to do that today. I haven't started my reread yet because I literally just finished A List of Cages. So yeah, that is my reading plan for right now. It's not on the backlist readathon TBR that I had, but yeah, let's just add this as the sort of on my TBR of the Keep Calm and Readathon, which I haven't really been participating all that well this weekend so far, so I'm going to do that today. And yeah, hopefully I can get a lot of it done. I really feel like delving back into this story that I love so much, and yeah, that is my reading plan for today. Hey, so in the end I didn't read that much this weekend. I didn't do anything that much this weekend. It was just like, these days are kind of weird, and I'm sure you can understand with everything going on. It's just a very weird situation, and I wasn't really feeling the sort of reading bug all that much, which I still really want to change because I don't like it when my reading mood isn't the best. And I mean, like, my reading mood isn't the best. It isn't even that bad. It's just that I haven't been enjoying reading this weekend as much as I usually do. It's just, I don't know, I felt a bit weird, but yeah, maybe we can change it this weekend, or like this week. Yeah, in the end I did read like a bit of Catching Fire, like 50 pages or so, 70 pages, so not that much, but yeah, I've made a start with it and I'm just going to continue with it this week because I'm still very much digging this story, and I think this is probably the perfect book to sort of get me out of this, not a reading slump, because if it's 2 days it's not a reading slump, but more like get me back in a better, more optimistic reading mood somehow. I really don't know. Maybe this all sounds very weird. I just was in a bit of a weird reading mood. But yeah, what can I say about Catching Fire? Of course, I love this one very much because it's one of my all-time favorites. So yeah, not much to say about that, like not anything new. And I also continued listening to the audiobook of Uprooted, which I am enjoying more than I had expected. Not necessarily the book, but the audiobook, because sometimes I'm a bit scared with audiobooks of fantasy stories, because I feel like they can be a bit harder to get into. But with this audiobook, it's actually really easy to get into the story. It's not that difficult at all. So that is something that I like very much. And I still need to read a lot of it. I'm also with this one like at page 74. So yeah, just as with Catching Fire, I still have a lot to read of this one, and I will just, you know, carry that on with me into the next week and the next reading vlog. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my reading updates. I feel like this reading vlog has been kind of weird. Yeah, it has been all over the place. It has been the Backlist Readathon reading vlog, which of course went well enough. Like with 2 books, I am pretty pleased, because that is of course 2 books of my backlist TBR that I finally read, and I enjoyed both of them, so that is something that I'm very happy with. And of course, you know, a book haul hitting 7,000 subscribers, that was amazing. A little book haul, like there has been a lot of different things in this reading vlog. I really hope you liked it. Yeah, it has been a bit all over the place, but you know, that's sort of the vibe that I'm going for this week. And yeah, I think this is then pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, please go subscribe, or maybe give it a thumbs up if you want to. Yeah, of course, I would always really appreciate that. And then hopefully I will see you again very soon in my next video. And yeah, hopefully I see you guys soon. Bye!